Hello again, and welcome back to the Kotu Classic. I'm your host Bruce, and as usual, Mr. Chama. Nakam happy Eid, man.
Boy, thanks, man. Yeah, it's it here. I think you guys in US, you have just
Started the day,
recognized
yeah.
the starting the day. So yeah, you guys are in the start of the Eid. We are ending it because it's already almost 12 o'clock
12
here.
o'clock, yeah.
So,
Okay,
but thank you very much. It was a wonderful day. Went to the
that's,
mosque, yeah, in the
that's
morning,
good,
and then
man. That's
I was
good.
out with the family later. So yeah, I kind of I enjoyed the Eid, to be honest. It was a low key one, but it was a
It
good
was
one.
nice, yeah. We thank God for that. So
Mhm,
it's Wednesday, the 10th of April here. Timestamp
mhm.
almost 7:30 in the morning.
Mhm.
And what time is it over there? You said 12, like almost
Yeah,
close to 12
almost
o'clock.
12, half
Okay.
half 11. So we are approaching 12 o'clock. We're
Same day,
approaching
okay.
the
All
next
right.
day. You know.
We are recording game week 33 preview. So yeah. Um, it's been a crazy few game weeks, man. Like two games in 1 week. 31,
Yeah.
32. So yeah. This is 33. I think from this point on, we're gonna have games every weekend. No midweek games or anything. Stressful like that. So yeah. Let's jump straight into the results for game week 32. I'll
Yeah.
just read off the results. Crystal Palace 2, Man City 4, Aston Villa 3, Brentford 3, Everton 1,
Yeah.
Burnley 0, Fulham 0, Newcastle 1, Luton 2,
Mhm.
Bournemouth 1, Wolves 1, West Ham 2, Brighton 0, Arsenal 3, ManU
Mhm.
2, Liverpool 2, which we'll talk about in the fan corner. Interesting game. Well,
Yeah. Well,
Sheffield,
I told you, you guys we are
you,
gonna do
you
something.
did, you did,
Yeah.
definitely. Sheffield United 2, Chelsea 2, Tottenham 3, and Nottingham Forest 1.
Mhm.
So straight to the talking points for game week 32. I think when this game week was, I think was 31 that was on, we recorded and then uploaded the last combined 32, 31, 32, but it was more of 31 than 32. So yeah, talking
Yeah.
points for 32. It was an interesting game week, man. Um,
Mhm.
a lot of high scoring draws that you can see there, Uh, that the title running. There's 1 point. What Arsenal on 71 points? Is it? Then
Yeah, Arsenal
Liverpool
are level on points with
level on
Liverpool.
points with Liverpool 70.
Arsenal, yeah, Arsenal leading on goal difference, and then Man City 1 point in third place, one
I
point less.
I don't remember a
So
time
Arsenal
when
and Liverpool,
yeah
71, and then you
then
have Man
70.
City 70.
I
Yeah.
can't remember a time when the title run had like three
No,
teams.
three horse races.
As no
No,
like
that's
it's been
yeah.
a long time,
I
right?
don't think it has ever happened in my
Yeah.
time watching the Premier League, at least.
Usually
Yeah,
it's
it has
like
never.
2 or 3 teams that are like away from the pack and maybe a
Mhm.
5 or 6 points difference between first second, but this one is tight. To be honest, with every game I
Very
don't think i
tight.
can i can call it, man, because any mistake at all from any team and then you're out. So it's
Mhm.
just to keep with the pack. But yeah,
Yeah.
what's your thoughts on the three teams, including your team?
Yeah, it's interesting. I know we the Liverpool fans, we kind of overreacted after the results against Man United.
Yeah.
But like again, these are the kind of fixtures that these kind of results should not surprise you, especially if you have been following these kind of games for a very long time. It should not. But yeah, it's still kind of ki- catch people by surprise. But I think it's still very interesting. It's still very open. Like as a Liverpool fan, I'm happy that we have that game out of the way. I would have loved to win that game, but I'm happy that for me personally, among the fixture running we had, that was the most difficult fixture. Oh, that was the most tricky fixture.
Mm,
Maybe Man United is not the best team that we are facing during that period, but it was the most tricky fixture for me
mm-hmm.
personally, in my opinion. So I'm happy that it is out of the way and we are still in the running, and then a lot of players are coming in. But
Yeah.
generally speaking, the fact that it is just 1 point in between them, and all three teams are still competing in Europe. Yesterday we saw what happened to Arsenal in the Champions League. Now they have a crucial second tie to play.
Mm-hmm.
Man City today have a crucial
Away,
second tie
yeah.
to play. Liverpool are playing in the Europa League, so makes these things even more interesting that all these three teams are still competing in Europe. So it's a very tight one to call. It's a very difficult one to call. All teams have some banana skin fixtures along the way
Mm-hmm.
to go. So anything can happen in this title running. Anything can happen. I hope I hope in the end, Liverpool come out on top. That is what I hope for. But it's very difficult to call because every week we have a new favorite, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. How about you?
Um,
How do you see it?
to be honest, at this point, I don't know. Like I said, it's going to be very. I think if it continues this way, obviously Arsenal are going to win it, but then they also have a
Mm-hmm.
difficult run of fixtures compared to I
Mm-hmm.
think the other two teams. So yeah,
Yeah.
moving on. KDB shines as Foden benched. Strange one. Foden, who has been on form the past few weeks, he was benched. I think he was being rested for the Real Madrid
Champions
game.
League.
Yeah, so obviously,
Mm-hmm.
and badly enough, I think he actually was subbed and he had like a dead leg or something like that. So some
Yeah, he had a knock.
slight injury. So we don't
Mm-hmm.
know how serious it's going to be, whether he's going to play this game 33 or So the jury is still out. We're still waiting for news. But
Mm-hmm.
KDB was also not. He didn't play the Champions League, so it's
Yeah.
tricky, man.
How
Like,
do we solve this puzzle? How do you solve this Manchester City puzzle? Because
man,
every week you have something new.
everything is like there's always something happening. So I mean, like it's always been Man City, anyways, because they have a lot of quality on
Mhm,
in the team that they don't have to play some players each and every game. They can choose to rest some
mhm,
players and play some players. So right now, like if you have KDB, I don't know. I think it's just a hole because he didn't play in the Champions
mhm.
League. And if Foden is definitely out, then KDB is definitely gonna be back. And obviously, both of them can
Yeah.
play the game anyway. So he
Yeah.
can
I
he
understand
can
KDB was ill though in the
yeah,
Champions
he
League.
was
He
ill.
was on
Yeah,
the bench.
so no
I understand
injuries
he was
there,
ill.
no injuries, which is good, which is very good.
And
So
now they have a crucial, second leg next week against Real Madrid. Which the tie is still up in the air because it was a 3-3 and there is no goal difference nowadays in the Champions League.
mm,
So Man City must win that game at home. If they draw 0-0, the game is still on. Or if they draw 1-1 or something like that, the game is still on. So they have to win that game. And then Real Madrid, we all know they are already pushover when it comes to Champions League football. Even though Man City has kind of have their number, they have been winning,
mm,
but that tie is still in the balance. Arsenal likewise. So KDB, what will Pep do this weekend? Man City have the best fixture this weekend, if the upcoming weekend. So how are we gonna approach that one? Foden, we know like his class. He has been one of the best, like if not the
yeah,
best player in the league
the
this
recent
season.
weeks, yeah.
You know, and now he has this knock. What do we do if you have him? Personally, I don't have him, but he's one of the players that I am most scared of not owning right now. So the knock that he had, even though I don't want to see players get injured or stuff like that, I kind of like it because it put that push like that fear I have on him, it kind of soften that fear in a way. But yeah, it's an interesting one, especially Luton coming up. So I hope he doesn't play that. I hope Pep rest him personally from a selfish point of view. But for
Yeah.
those of you guys who own him, maybe what do you do with it? Of course, you
I,
will start him
I think
because
we
of
start him,
quite
yeah,
like he
definitely. But
has.
I just don't want him to
Yeah,
come for like a few minutes. They don't need him in this game because it's the game that they should be winning anyway. So yeah, just
yeah, 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 yeah.
let him get his rest. No appearance points to spoil the party for the bench players for us. So yeah,
Yeah.
next thing, Havertz continue to deliver. Like Havertz is a curious case, man. Like he's not the most like sexiest pick, but he keeps getting the job done, man. Like, are we ignoring him or like what's the case with Havertz? Because he's been scoring the goals, man. Like,
Yeah,
and now
yeah.
Gabriel Jesus is on the bench now. So Havertz starts. So how do we approach this?
It's a very funny one with Havertz. I think he said he there was a time during this, like from game week 25, 27. I think 3 game weeks in a row he had double digit returns. And if you look at his numbers, I think in the last 6 games he only failed to return against Manchester City. In every other game he returned, and he's been starting almost every
Yeah.
single game. Arsenal's good run of form, he has been a huge part of it. Let's say it like that. He has been a huge part of Arsenal good run of form because the last time he failed to start for Arsenal was game week 19 and they lost to West Ham. The next game he started, that was against Fulham, they lost, but Arsenal have won all their games except one after that, and the draw they had was against Man City, and that was the only game that Havertz has not returned. So, and then he is continuing to play in that number 9 spot for Arsenal. Even Gabriel Jesus is back now. I prefer to play Gabriel Jesus
Harvard.
out on the left in Martinelli's
Oh,
position rather than bring him into Havertz's position. And even when um they decide to bring a striker to play in that number 9, Havertz drops into a midfield area like a number 8 or a number 10. So, like it seems he's very important to Arteta. Whatever Arteta is doing, it seems Arteta Havertz has become very important. And yeah, we have been sleeping on him because of course, we had the Sakas, and then we were thinking too much about the Arsenal double defense. You have
Double defense,
Saliba,
yeah.
Gabriel, and White all doing well, and rightly so. They have been very, very good. But I think
Consistent points,
Havertz,
yeah, that's true.
yeah, he has been delivering in a very, very consistent manner in the past, especially since the turn of the year. And I think he's worth a look at. He's worth a look at. Personally, I have already 3 Arsenal because of 2 defenders. But if I did not, maybe I would take Havertz more seriously, especially for those who don't have the triple Arsenal yet. Yeah.
Lastly, Watkins is back with a bang. Obviously, we all, most people took him out of the team because of the fixtures, number one, and it coincided that he was just he had an injury, I think, the last 2 game weeks, but he's back and obviously back in the double-digit halls again, and we are scratching our head whether it was the right call to take him out of our teams in the first place. No, no doubles, and then tricky fixtures, but still, he's still scoring, man. So he's been on form. So what do you think about Watkins at this point? Keep or sell?
It's a funny one. I to be honest, like I personally did not sell him.
Yeah, you enjoy the points,
of,
man.
yeah, because I do not need to, especially with the fact that I am not playing. I'm playing without Haaland, so it makes it easy for me to keep him. Maybe if Haaland was in my thoughts or it was in the players that I would pick, then I would have sold Watkins for Haaland as well. But for that reason, that's why I had him, and then I was very happy to have him this weekend because of the fixture that they had, and he came out with a good return. They play against Brentford. Brentford defensively this season, they are not that level that they have been in the past. They have a lot of injuries. They have a few injuries in the back. Their goalkeeping situation too is not very clear. So yeah, when I heard that he was likely to return this week, so I said this is a good differential because many players have, many managers have sold him. So when he started scoring the goals, I was quite optimistic that I will finally get my green arrow, which I have not had. I think this one in my history FPL 8 games in a row, 8 games in a row. Our teams. So yeah, I think Watkins was a big reason why I got a green arrow this week. From my school of thought, especially when it comes to FPL, I always kind of chase the double game weeks a little bit, and especially when it comes to fixtures. And if you look at Watkins, I think he doesn't have the double you say. And then the fixtures are not great. He's going to play against Arsenal next week in game week 33, one of the best defense in the league. And then in game week 34, they have a good fixture in terms of Bournemouth. But there's a lot of teams doubling. You want to have the Arsenal, triple Liverpool, and then Crystal Palace players are coming now into the picture. Even Bournemouth, they have a double in that particular game week. So if I could have a team of doublers, I would rather have that than have Watkins. But I don't mind starting him for that game. He being one of the single game week players that I have in my team. The Arsenal game, I'm not sure. And then after that, they play Arsenal, Chelsea. It could be a good fixture. Brighton, Liverpool, and then Crystal Palace. So it's not a great. And considering that I'm gonna bench boost in game week 37. No, I'm not bench. Like I'm gonna free hit in game week 37. Personally, I can see a reason to sell him, even though he has been a great servant to my team. Yeah.
All right.
I saw some people buying him actually buying him ahead of Arsenal.
I don't
those
think
are those managers who just take points. Yeah.
I don't think they're thinking far ahead, or maybe they just want to take a gamble. You never know what might happen. Playing against the best defense in the league and bringing in Watkins.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the best
on paper. Yeah, on paper it's not the best idea to be honest. But sometimes they work out.
They do.
But of course, personally, I prefer to play the game on paper, what the paper is saying, and then go with those decisions, and then you have a higher chance. But of course, this is why some people have this weird kind of points. Sometimes they score hat trick and stuff like that, and then they benefit and enjoy those points.
Okay. So going to our results for game week 32. Well, it wasn't the worst game week for me. It was, at least I had a green arrow after a while. It's been a few weeks. I just saw like I said, I keep saying I just saw the 100 for a glimpse, split second, and then it's been red arrows ever since. So nice to have a green. for a while. So 66 points
Anyway,
all
yeah.
out. Average was 56. Game week rank of 2.2 million. In my team, I had Kelleher. Kelleher, man, he hasn't been doing well since I brought him. I think it's time to take him out of my team.
It's a,
Yes,
it's
like,
time.
yeah,
It's
you
time.
you would
And
think that it's Liverpool. You guys, before I got him, you guys were keeping clean sheets, and all of a sudden I brought him in, and then the clean sheets were just gone. Not that he has a
yeah,
bad
this is
performance,
why.
but it's just like
Yeah,
uh,
weird goals conceded. This is why I
wild
said Liverpool
wild
are the
coincidence, man. Yeah,
most
it's
fragile
wild.
team in the title race. That is my
Yeah,
biggest worry about Liverpool.
the
They are the most
defense.
fragile team.
Yeah,
They are the most likely team to concede a foolish goal in
mhm,
every single game. Like it just happens almost every single time, and
yeah.
yeah, it is really annoying.
It is annoying. I'm telling you, man. I have double Arsenal finally, which is just paying dividends. Zinchenko, I should have sold because at some point he wasn't playing, he was injured. Now he's back and he's in the team. 6 points,
Back to back
Gabriel
returns,
six
right?
points. Yeah, it was yeah. I'm happy with the double Arsenal, to be honest.
Mhm.
Yeah. Estupinian 1 point, no option
But
there.
You need to thank me for that one. Is
Yeah,
Zinchenko.
yeah, yeah.
I
With the
told you not to
Zinchenko, yeah,
sell.
I was because I was frustrated. I was frustrated, man, because he's been in my team. I wanted to sell, but he's an Arsenal defender, but he's always injured,
Mhm.
and he have these other Gabriel and Saliba always getting the points. I was like, man, what am I doing?
Get it.
I banked on
Sometimes
him, and
just
then yeah, he never.
yeah,
I was like,
just 1 week
man,
of patience sometimes
I
can
think so.
make a difference.
I think so. Yeah. So thanks for that one for
Mm.
keeping letting me make the decision. Saka with 10 points, Salah with 8, Son captaincy. I gambled with him. Salah got more points, so but small margins
Mm.
anyways. And then Palmer with 5, Morris who came in for auto sub. I think Foden 8 points. He doesn't want to leave, but he's contributing his quota to my team. Alan with eight
You have
points,
two
and
auto
then
subs, right? Auto subs
yeah,
come
two
come.
auto subs. Gusto and Foden. So Gusto came in. Went out for Estupinian, and then Foden went out for Morris. I was happy. I was keeping. I was like, man, I hope Foden doesn't play, and he didn't. So that was good. Um. So your team.
Yeah, this was a big week for me. Like I said, the first green since game week 23. We are now in game week 33, right? We are going
Yeah,
to the game 33. So
that was a
since game
long
week
time.
23, this week that was a long time. Yeah, that was the last time I saw green arrow. Right? Yeah, it was frustrating to
But
be
it was at
honest.
least it
But
was small,
I,
small greens. It wasn't like really big, drop off of greens that you would have been.
yeah,
So it's not too
but
bad.
it was a tough period. It was a tough period. Let's see, like
Yeah.
because why it is even tougher is because remember game week 25 to game week 29 was where all the planning happens, right? Where you
Mhm.
plan for your wild card, where you plan for your. I played the wild card during that period. I played the bench boost during that period, and then I had plans for a lot of things, especially when it comes to the fixtures and stuff like that. That is the period I'm most excited about when it
Mm.
comes to FPL, and that is where I had my worst FPL spell ever.
Mm.
So yeah, it was frustrating because I plan. I always plan for my team. I always plan when it comes to I plan few games ahead. So if you do all those things and then you still end up with red, 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 it's frustrating.
It is frustrating,
And that
yeah,
was what happened to
definitely.
me. Yeah, but yeah, it is what it is. I will not change my way of managing, especially when it comes to that period. I think it was just how do they say it? It's variance or stuff like whatever it is. I don't know, but I have some poor decisions though during that period too, which I will admit. But anyways, my team, I had 70 points. Neto was in goal. I was hoping for that clean sheet. He was keeping that clean sheet until very late, and then he conceded, and he ended up still getting some bonus points. So imagine if he had the clean sheet, he would have been a mega haul for him. In defense, I have Saliba. No, White coming in for Gusto. I started Gusto. Gusto got the. Actually, I benched one of my Arsenal defenders because I like the Chelsea fixture, even though Chelsea are so poor, are so bad. Look at them against Sheffield United; they considered two goals.
They're like I
It was
understand their frustration, man. Honestly.
yeah, it's not easy, right?
Yeah, Chelsea, man.
Yeah,
Like,
and Tottenham, do they ever play a game and keep a clean sheet?
it's been
Like
a long time. It's been like in the beginning of the season. I think they were, but the way they play, I don't expect much clean sheets
yeah,
from their defenders. To be honest, it's just the attacking returns mostly.
exactly.
Yeah, but no, not clean
Exactly,
sheets.
Podo returned this week, scored a wonderful goal this weekend.
Oh
So
yeah,
it
it was
was
nice. And
since he
Van de
came into
Ven
my
now.
team,
Yeah, was two nice goals from the two defenders. Yeah,
two
it was
brilliant
nice.
goals. Yeah, Yeah, Udoji too. I brought him into my team. Since then, he has not. These are the kind of things.
Yeah.
These kind of decisions. Udoji, Madison. Since they came into my team, they have not given me anything. And they were supposed to be some differential kind of players in my team because they had good fixtures, the double
Yeah.
game weeks and all that. Having the fixture in the fixture in blank game week 29 and all those things, and they were all blank in all those cases. Yeah, but anyways. Gabriel, yeah, he kept the clean sheet also too. Then Son, I captain Son like yourself, 5 points. Mm, and Palmer 5 points, Saka 10, Salah 8, and then Madison with his 2 points. Watkins, of course, I say was the difference. Darwin also gave me a 5 point. I had 9 points on my bench with
Yeah, that's what I
Regulion,
was
who
saying.
was very impressive.
Regularly, yeah, that's good. But I wish he was
Yeah, yeah, but
closer
yeah,
today.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I really didn't think of starting because I was expecting Aston Villa to score goals in that one. So yeah. Tony I bench which it turned out to be the good decision because he did not play. He did not start the game and then he ended up with 1 pointer. So at least that decision was okay for me. 70 points, 1.3 million game week rank, and yeah, I move up. Now I'm 199k inside the top 200k again. Yeah, we will push for it because I still have the triple captain to play, right?
Yeah.
Which many
Yeah.
people don't have.
Yeah.
I still have the free hit to play. So maybe if I get lucky with those two chips, I might push for something, at least a very strong finish to the end of the season and see where that leads me to.
All right. Moving on to the Kotu Classic Mini-league update. Manager of the week this week is Prospect D, Boozers, 23-24. Isn't it? That's a nice name. With
96 points.
96 points, man. I mean, yeah, these are the kind of games, where you want to have the high points and then move, like, zoom your way past up the ranks. So
Yeah.
congrats, Prospect D, for being a manager of the week for this week, game week 32. In our leaderboard, still in fifth. There's some movement, but not a lot. Um,
You are getting closer to this
I
fifth.
know,
Yeah,
right?
you see, you are coming back.
But
Top
I've
five.
been doing well, man. It's just movement. I think everybody around is like really not
Uh-huh.
doing so well. So I'm just keeping consistency. Just being in the same area, hanging around there. In case of any
Just
mistake.
14, just 14 points. Just
uh,
14 points.
you
A Watkins performance. Then you are
see,
into that.
look at the difference between
Yeah.
me and you. There's 8 points difference, right? But you are 199 and 165. It just goes to show what kind of season this season is. It's
It's
very
very
close.
tight. Yeah, it's very tight.
It's
Very
crazy.
close.
So starting in fifth or staying in fifth is AJ. Still in fourth is Maudo Jallo. Dropping to third is Alaji Bite, Ahani Mukhtar. And then moving to second is Tiango, FPL planner. And then moving to first is Murshid Jeng. So there's some two movements there and then a drop. And then you have some stays there. So yeah, that's the mini league update for the Kotu Classic Mini League. And moving to I think this is the interesting one, the fan corner. I just brought some stats because to be honest, you guys should have won this game. I don't know how you didn't win. Like it got me thinking that maybe are you guys really good this season or were you guys good and then like worse now or bad now? Like what's happening? Because the finishing is terrible, man. Like look at the stats. Possession, obviously, we know you're going to dominate the possession. 62 to 38. Shots, 28 shots to 9 shots. Of those 28 shots, just 7 were on target. We had 5. Even like when I tell you we are terrible when it comes to finishing. Like the beginning of this season, we were like had so many shots and then even like on target was just terrible. You guys managed to beat us with shots on target just by 2 from having 28 shots. Doesn't make sense, man. Honestly, passes and all these things are nice and everything, but for me, I look at most of the shots on target and compared to the total shots. So it doesn't make sense. You guys should have won this game. I think it's on you guys. You guys should have won. So I don't think there's any excuses for the. You should have probably like collected the 3 points and maybe been leading the pack by now. But yeah. Positives for this game for us, defenders. We had some issues, obviously. Willie Kambwala, another young guy from the academy, also came up and had a fantastic game. And in a big stage like this, to have a game like that, I think is going to do well for his confidence, of course. Kobe Menu, another guy again who we have been singing praises to this season. Also scored a beautiful goal, second goal. Fantastic.
Mhm.
So man, I don't know. For me personally, I just want this this season to end so that we can get our planning and everything that we have been cooking, get started. Then the coach, I don't know what's gonna happen. Either he goes or he leaves, whatever the case may be. I just want to see like some improvement in the team. Players coming back, Martinez, and maybe we sort out the defensive issues with the team, and we'll see. But yeah, man, 2-2, I'll take that any day. At one point, from I was expecting you guys to battle us, obviously, because we have been terrible. But yeah, you guys didn't take the chance. So
Mhm.
yeah, um, what are your thoughts on the game?
Um, it's a funny. It's just like it's a strange one, not strange in a way because this is something that I kind of anticipated, especially when I watched that first half. When I watched that first half we had 15 shots out of the 28,
We didn't have
and
anything.
Man
Zero,
United,
zero.
Man United had 0 shots. We created 3 big chances during that period in the first half. In total in the game, we created 7 big chances.
Hmm.
Man United created 1 big chance, and Man United scored one goal from that. I think the Bruno one was kind of a big chance because of the keeper was out of line, and because they consider all those kind of situations. But even though it's still a difficult finish for, like, not every player will finish
Yeah,
that goal.
it was a nice finish. Yeah, definitely.
Um, yeah. Or I don't know if it was the Kobe Minor one, which was the which was no, it was definitely the Bruno one, which was the considered. I don't know, whatever the case.
Two. Let's say
Oh,
two,
Man
two,
United
two,
missed a
two,
big
two
chance.
beautiful
Oh, Man
goals.
United.
Anyways, two beautiful
No, no,
goals.
no. No. The big chance. I think it was Casemiro's header or stuff like that. He missed a good header. I can't remember. Anyways, so that is the situation. In terms of performance, of course, Liverpool will dominate the performance. That is, like, in terms of quality of teams, I think Liverpool is better team than Man United. I never doubted that situation. But being a better team does not necessarily mean you're gonna win a football game. So you have to turn up. In the FA Cup, it's similar situation. We came to Old Trafford, played really, really good football, but again, we did not take our chances. And leading up to this game, every podcast you listen to, every interview you listen to, every player you listen to talking about this game, upcoming game, was telling you, we have to learn from our mistake from the game against you guys in the FA Cup. And then we came and repeat the same mistakes that
Hmm.
we did.
Yep.
First of all, I think Klopp has had some issues in the game. I would say I don't like to criticize him too much, but I think he kind of cost us the game in a way, especially when it comes to the team selection, and that is leading up to the game. We played against Sheffield United, um, uh, and then he started Ibu Konate. And then we played against Man United. He started Konsa. I'm not blaming Konsa. Konsa was good in the game,
Yeah, it's
except
just
for that
one
mistake he
mistake.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, with that mistake he did, I think that was, and Ibu Konate could have been the same player who did that mistake. But at the end of the day, it's about levels. You want to have your best players in
On the
the
pitch,
in the most
yeah,
important games, in
yeah.
the most difficult game. So I think Klopp missed his rotation there when it comes to Ibu Konate and Konsa. I think Konsa should have started the game against Sheffield United, and then, because we all know Ibu Konate is kind of susceptible to getting injured, so you save him, put him in a cotton wool or stuff like that for Manchester United, because he could have. But that will not what that does not mean if he was there, Liverpool would have win, or Liverpool would, but I just think with his experience and with his quality, I think he was more suited to play that game than Konsa. And Konsa was very good in that game, because if you happen to keep your opponents at bay for a full 45 minutes without taking a shot on target, like, I think that is an exceptional defensive performance from him. So I was not surprised by the results in that way. First half, after the first half, huh, I I refrained from commenting on the Kotu Classic group because of what I was expecting this will happen in the second half,
Yes, it's
because,
football.
like,
It's
I was
definitely
watching the first
football.
half
Yeah,
with frustration.
yeah, yeah.
But we go into halftime with 1-0 lead. I was so frustrated because I was watching the game alone. Like, I was even talking to myself, and because Kanaya started watching the game with me, and then she went to sleep later. So she was seeing me talking to myself on this screen. All I was was saying was, like, you're having these good chances. We had 3
It's
big
gonna
chances
come
in
back
that
to
first
haunt
half.
you. Yeah, that's football. It
It's
always
gonna come
happens.
back to haunt
Yeah,
you.
it always comes.
Exactly,
Yeah,
it always happens. It
definitely. You
always
can't.
happens. Someone's like having some very,
Yeah,
very good
yeah,
chance. Salah, and so I was so disappointed with the performance, individual performance. The overall team performance was good because we controlled the game, which is the first thing you have to do. You won the possession, you created more chances than your opponent. You created 7 big chances in the game. Just take 2 or 3 of them, and then you like
you
if
guys
you
should have killed the
go
game
into
off in the
halftime.
first half. Just kill the game
Yeah, if
off.
you go
Maybe score like 3 or 4, and then just and that's that. And
exactly,
then the
if you go
second
into
half, you can relax, take your time. Yeah, that's. But you
exactly.
don't want to go in one lead and then give us the chance because we are playing at home. And he said,
Yeah,
this is a
exactly.
yeah,
And
it's a big game.
if that mistake did not happen, like it would have been very difficult for Man United to come
Yeah.
back to the game. But because of that goal that Bruno scored, it lifted everybody's mood,
Mm-hmm.
and then Liverpool started chasing the game. And then started making some silly
Yeah.
mistakes. If you look at the goal that you scored, the second goal, Kobe Mino scored an exceptional goal.
That was a
But the lead
beautiful
up to
goal.
the goal, that pass from Casemiro to Kobe Mino, that gap that Liverpool left in that middle, which you will never see. Their players were all over the place. Like positioning was very bad. And then from the idea build up, and Kobe Mino, of course, you have to give him all the credit for the goal because of the the position he was in. You don't expect him to score there, but still, it was all about the leading up to the goal. So it was a disappointing one. Not that I'm surprised with it because I see this kind of things over and over and over again. So if we play Man United tomorrow again, I would expect Man United to, even though I know Liverpool will be the better team, but I expect Man United to cause us some problems. But at the end of the day, we gained 1 point at Old Trafford. I can remember, like I say, when Man United was at their best, they will come. Liverpool. They will come to at Old Trafford, and then they will, like, with a very, very terrible team, and then Liverpool will still get a result there.
Yeah.
So it is normal for this kind of things
It's a
to happen.
derby. That's
It
what
is
derbies are.
frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not based
exactly.
on form or anything. Yeah. It's just whatever it
Exactly.
is. Yeah.
Exactly. It's frustrating in the moment, and especially if you're considering you are in the title race and the team you are
Yeah.
playing
Yeah.
against
Yeah.
the players that they had on show and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you look at Liverpool too. They were not the fully strength Liverpool at the end of the
Yeah.
day. Kansa, Bradley, you will not when Liverpool every player is fit. You don't expect all these players to play. Kelleher, you don't expect them to play. So they did a good job at the end of the day. Going to Old Trafford, getting the point. But with the balance of play and all whatnot, I think we kind of dropped a couple of points at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
But the good thing is, let me just speak about the returnees, because you see, I put there Alisson, Jota, and Trent.
Yeah.
They were all back in training this week, and now we are in the final running. 7 games to go. Man United is out of the way. Like I say, I'm
It's a big
glad that
boost.
that
Yeah.
fixture is out of the way. I don't have to think about it. It does not matter if they are good or bad, but I just don't want to think about that fixture, especially when you are going for the title and stuff like that. So to have these players back, there are some people saying if Jota was in that pitch, Liverpool would have won that
That
game because
that is my issue. That is my
those
yeah.
chances that you have in.
He's
Yeah,
one of
but it
yeah,
is
definitely. I think
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like in a title race, you have to be clinical.
Mhm.
You like and as you guys have a good team, good attackers. But apart from Salah in that team, and even he had a bad, like you can say, not an average
It
game.
was how he had a terrible
So
game.
yeah. So if not him, who else is there that's like a really good finisher? I don't see anybody else.
Yeah,
Jota is that's
look
why
at Darwin.
that's where Jota is different.
Mhm.
Darwin
Your
is
friend.
Darwin is not a good
Yeah,
finisher at all.
actually, I spoke to somebody, a Liverpool fan. We always get excited and stuff like that. So he
Yeah.
was like, "We are flying, Man United add this, add that." So I just didn't want to prolong the conversation. But what I told him was, it depends on which Darwin comes on the day.
Yeah,
If it
yeah,
is the Darwin that
that's
scores
true.
the goal, then we'll be fine. But
Yeah.
if it is the Darwin that is the frustrating one, which we saw on the day, even though he was not involved in a lot of things, but he had a key moment in the
Hmm.
game where he could have scored,
And he
at least hit the
squared it
target,
again. Like yeah,
or square, and then
yeah,
he
yeah.
and he squared it for who? I
I
don't know.
don't know. Yeah,
So
you were the farthest forward. Like it doesn't make any sense. But yeah,
and
I mean,
the final thing I would like to say is Amorin. I think I heard some people saying that Liverpool have kind of some agreement with him in place. So it's very likely that he's going to be the next Liverpool manager. He's doing really well. Now I'm following them with keen interest. They said they want Benfica back to back, and now they are 4 points at the top of the Portuguese league. So I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna pan out, but But
Yeah,
yeah,
we'll see. There's a lot of change in both of our teams this summer, so we'll see how that pans out.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Yes, yeah.
so moving on to the fixtures for 33. So we have some spicy fixtures
Mm-hmm.
in here. Newcastle Spurs,
Yeah.
the two teams that don't have defense at this moment in time, is going to be, I believe, it's going to be a high scoring game, anyways. Brentford,
Mm-hmm.
Sheffield, Burnley, Brighton, Man City, Luton, Nottingham Forest, Wolves, Bournemouth, Man United, Liverpool, Crystal Palace, West Ham, Fulham, Arsenal, Aston Villa, and then Chelsea, Everton. So yeah, no big game. It's just some smaller games. So yeah, which ones do you think stand out apart from, let's say, Man City, Luton? Like we mentioned before, with the Foden injury and the KDB coming
Yeah.
in.
I think Sheffield United has become that team where we are looking at them every single game week. And this week they play Brentford away to Brentford. And Brentford in terms of attacking options, they have like a very good attacking options. Last week, even though you see they did not start Tony, they still managed to score 3 goals in that game.
Bomo,
Bomo is
man,
back to
Bomo
full
is
form.
back. I'm tempted,
Yeah,
but I just can't fit him into my midfield. That's the problem right
yeah.
now.
And,
Bomo,
and and the fact they don't have the double game week to also to look
yeah,
forward to,
yeah.
maybe it makes it a little bit more difficult to consider their players. If you look at their fixtures coming, in they have nice fixture on, to be honest, because they have Sheffield United, Luton, Everton, Fulham, Bournemouth, Newcastle to end their season. Those are the next 7 games or 6 games that they have to play.
Mhm.
So it is nice fixtures, but the lack of double game week in 37 and 34 for me puts me off. But personally, I have a couple of players from them. I might sell them. I might sell them after this game against Sheffield United. But in that midfield where you are thinking about the Liverpool and then the Arsenal and then Man City
Tottenham,
coming with double,
yeah.
even
So
Man United
there are a
coming
lot
up
of
with a
teams
double.
that are doubling
Yeah,
that you have to
Tottenham.
focus
Yeah,
on, yeah. So
yeah. And they have talismans. They have very good players there. So it's not like Mbemo is like better than those players like the Sons, the Sakas, the
if he had
Fodens,
continued
the
before the
Salas.
injuries, yeah,
So
he started off well this season. I remember he was like, you know,
yeah,
because Tony
he
was
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 flying. He
was
was
banned,
flying.
so he
Yeah,
was the
yeah,
one that was the main man there. So yeah, you
yeah.
know.
He took the mantle. Yeah.
hmm
Yeah, that's
Uh
the fixture I think for me. I'm looking at. Liverpool also, Crystal Palace. It's not a bad one. It's not a bad
yeah,
one.
you guys always beat them at home, man. I don't
Um,
think it's yeah. I don't think yeah.
Chelsea. You always want to say, of course, Parma. Everybody own Parma, but apart from Parma, this game will end 2-2, and maybe Parma scored the 2 goals, and then
But
nobody else get a return.
I think he was subbed with like a back injury or something like that. I haven't heard anything on the socials about whether he's going to be
Oh,
out or whether he's recovered or something like that. So we don't know. But he's not flagged, is he?
really? No,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
not
he
flagged.
was he was
Oh,
subbed. Yeah, he was subbed with a kind of like a back injury or something like
I don't
a
know. I don't even watch the game. I just
yeah.
I just saw that he gave the point and then he gave 5 point. I don't know that.
Yeah,
That's news to me.
I was keeping tabs on the game. So, but I haven't heard anything. So
Yeah,
that means like no news is good news, right? So
yeah. No news is good news. That,
we,
that that's a
we,
good thing.
yeah, we keep it the way it is. Yeah. So moving to 33 game 33 dilemmas. First one. How do you maneuver Man City assets? This one, I think we already touched about this one with the KDB and Foden.
Hmm.
I don't think a lot of people have Man City defenders at this point because, like almost the whole season they hardly kept clean sheets anyway. So what's the point in going for that defenders right
Hmm.
now? Especially not me. I'm not speaking for other managers, but yeah, KDB is difficult if you have him. Most likely you're not going to have KDB, Foden, and Haaland in your team. It's very difficult to yeah. So it's either you have
Yeah,
Haaland and Foden, or you have KDB and maybe Haaland. I don't know, but yeah, it's difficult to have all those three top
very yeah,
assets here this season. So how do we
yeah.
go about like fitting them into our teams, and whether it's time to take out Haaland because Haaland hasn't been doing very well. Like recently, he's been scoring 1 or 2 goals here and there, but it's not the Haaland that we used to from last season or even
Yeah,
like
performance is not even good.
yeah,
His
the
performance is
performance
not
is
good.
not good. I don't know whether he's struggling with
Yeah.
an injury. That might happen to I don't know.
Hmm.
It's just
Hmm.
not like
And
what we are used to. Yeah.
yeah, and defenders are becoming so. aggressive, more aggressive on him. Look at the game against Arsenal, how Gabriel was trying to, put him into trouble. Haaland, and Haaland was not ready for that battle in that day. I don't know. Gabriel won that battle definitely against Arsenal, and then against Real Madrid yesterday, Rudiger too. I think he shot him down. He did not have any shot in that game and stuff like that. He was not involved at all. I did not watch the game, but just reading from the comments what people were saying, and people will make memes about these games who they have in the pocket or blah blah. And Haaland seems to be that player that is not doing well recently. You will
Yeah,
expect him to have chances. You will expect him to be involved in the game in some aspect, be a threat in the
yeah.
game and all whatnot. But
Impact the
that is
game
not something we are
yeah.
seeing.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
impact
It's
the game a little bit. It's not something we are seeing. Even the game he scored against, what was the game recently? The Man City against Crystal Palace, right? 4-2. I don't think he was that impactful in that game. He did have a couple of big chances, the goal he scored, and there was another one KDB created for him that was all out of KDB's brilliance. But it was not like Haaland was in the game, and then you would expect him to score a hat trick in that game. You expect him to score a brace, like you would expect from him. It's not there, to be honest. That fear factor that he carried last season, I'm not seeing it this season. To be honest, yeah, it's a good thing for me myself who
yeah.
does not own
You
him in
chose
my team.
the
But
best season to to go with Haaland. I mean, yeah,
yeah.
maybe it's foresight that you had, but yeah. So if you were gonna pick,
Mhm.
obviously, between the three, like or any other Man City asset right now, which one would you go for in this last stretch of
Um,
games?
I think you will want to own Foden. I think Foden is the main one you will want to own. I think uh Pep has trusted him more this season. Yes, he was rested last week, which can happen, but he was rested because of Real Madrid was coming, you
Hmm.
know. But prior to that, he was playing almost every single game. If I think he might be the player, the Man City player who played the most games this season, who played the most minutes, which has not usually been the case for him. Pep would rather bench KDB or stuff like that than bench Harden, especially when it comes to important games and stuff like that. So he has taken that
Next step, yeah.
talismanic
Hmm.
step at City. So he's the player that you will wanna have in your team definitely. Um, Personally, like I say, I don't own him right now, but he's giving me a headache. I can remember when I was wildcarding, he really pushed me to the edge to decide to sell him or should I keep him, and then because he was that good at that point. There was no reason to sell him at that point. He did not punish me for the first two games, but then the subsequent one when he scored the hat trick, and then he punished me very 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 badly. So he's the player that I would want to have in my team. Regardless, just start him every single game. If he's rested, that is the situation. But expect him to be rested less than, at least KDB, for
They do
example.
need him, yeah.
Yeah.
They
And
do need
he's better asset than Foden this season. He's better asset than
KDB.
Haaland this season.
Yeah, then Haaland, yeah,
He's the best
yeah,
player in the Premier League.
yeah.
For me personally, he's the
I
best
think
player
so,
in the
man.
Premier
Like
League.
I think he's skipped it up. Like he's gone to the next level now. He just needs to be
Mm.
consistent. You like performing at that higher level, and then you can call him one of the best players. Yeah, like right now, yeah, Foden is on unplayable. So you can't drop him anymore. So
Mhm.
like you were saying in the fan corner, Trent, Jota, and Allison they return. So what does this do for FPL assets? Because we were thinking of planning without them. We had like any content that you watch, there was no plans of Trent or Jota or these Liverpool assets being in there because we were thinking, oh, they're out, so it might be a while to get them back in the team. But it seems like they are training now, so that means
Mhm.
like we have
Yeah.
to scrap all our plans and and try to see how we can fit them in because we know Trent what he can do
Yeah.
when he comes in the team.
Yeah, maybe it's not a matter of fitting them in, but it's also a matter of when they are available. What happens to the other players close in the team?
Yeah,
For Trent position, I think Bradley was becoming a popular pick for many managers.
yeah,
Goalkeeper, what is his name? Kelleher became a popular pick. That's why you have him in your
yeah.
team
It's
because
very
Allison
very cheap and yeah, he plays
was
for
out for
Liverpool.
long.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's not like you're gonna bring Allison in your team, but the fact that Allison is back, you have to think about Kelleher, is he gonna play? Because Allison is the first choice goalkeeper, which is very obvious. So what will you do with your asset, especially if you don't have a second goalkeeper who is playing? So you have to consider that factor. With Trent, I think he has been with him and Jota, according to Klopp's press conference today. He said they have been training for a while and they did not want to rush them in.
Okay.
Especially Trent, he was rushed in the
And then
earlier
he got
when he had,
yeah.
and then he get the recurrence of. So this time they try to take it very careful with him, and now he has been training for a while, so it is easier for him to come into the team. But his price is very expensive in FPL, 8.5 million. So how can you accommodate that kind of player in your team at this
Unless
stage
you're
of the season?
wildcarding, yeah. Unless you wildcarding.
Exactly, and it's also difficult, especially unless you are white hair. What if you are not wildcarding? It's difficult to buy him, and then you have to move players. You have
Yeah,
to move front because
definitely.
you cannot move a defender straight to Trent. So
Yeah.
what is the point of getting him? So yes, Liverpool double in 34, but is he gonna play the double game week? This is game week 33.
That is just
Next week
coming
game
back
week
from
34.
injury. Yeah,
So
I don't think.
just coming back from injury, maybe he play once and then he play one and then he's rested in the other one. Liverpool are still competing in Europe. You don't know what situation they will be in after they are forced European tie, or if they qualify for the semi-finals. What is the situation gonna be? How are they gonna manage? They are gonna play every single week, every single midweek if they progress into the European competition. So you will not expect them to play all those games. So I think he's a player that maybe you can do without. Uh, Definitely, but personally, I like him, and I kind of think about him. But in a from a sensible point of view, I don't think he's that player that somebody people should think. Jota maybe because of the
Jota, yeah,
double
Jota
game.
is like when he's fit, he gives you the returns, man. Like he is one of the most reliable Liverpool players that are, in my opinion, apart from Salah, definitely. So
Yeah, and
yeah, go ahead.
and the attackers have been underwhelming
Yeah, yeah.
lately. Diaz is scoring goals here and there, but then Darwin, they are gonna be on. They are gonna be their position is gonna be in risk because of the return of Jota, because Jota what he can give you. So it's gonna be rotation there at the end of the day because of the team how it is set up. So I don't know if he's also a player you will wanna get because of the midfield. If you look at how loaded the midfield options are this season, you are talking about Mbuemo. You are not even thinking. You're like, how can you fit him in? So Jonathan is in that situation. How can you fit him in?
That's true. We
Maybe
all,
when he start
yeah.
banging,
I think,
but
yeah.
double game in 34 is quite early, and game week 33 is quite soon for them. I would like to see them play, but to get them in the FBL team, I don't know if it is imminent.
Mm. Okay, and Allison too. The same. Does he come back straight into the team, or when does he come back? Because I have Kelleher, so I have to to make these plans. Because
Yeah,
my second keeper Areola is injured, so now I have only one starting keeper. So I have to make some
yeah,
some some moves there. So yeah.
yeah.
Um.
It's difficult, right?
Yeah. Lastly, Tottenham. I think they are what
They
blank game
blank
make
in game week
34, but then they
34.
double again in 35. Is it?
They double in 35 and they double in 37.
37. So
So
yeah, one blank and then two double game weeks coming up. How do we
personally, I have
maneuver
triple
this?
them.
Yeah, you have
Triple
we have
Tottenham,
triple
yeah.
Tottenham, so
And they have been so disappointing. Like I was expecting them to be my differential. So now I have that question of okay, I should just sell them now. Now is the time. Just sell them. Even though 35 is a double, 37 is a double. 37, I will have the triple Tottenham if I want them because I will free hit in game week 37. That is my plan. So I don't have to think about the 37 double game week. So it's only the 35 double game week that I have to think about.
yeah.
So should I sell two? Should I sell Son? No, should I sell one of them, or should I sell like keep Son maybe and then sell Udogi and Madison? Madison, I've been really frustrated with
He
him.
hasn't been on form, to be honest. Yeah, he hasn't been
Like,
on
and then
form.
he's getting sub and very early in games, 65 minutes, 63 minutes. So it has been really frustrating
Hmm.
owning him. Tottenham scoring goals and he's not even getting an assist or anything. So it is very difficult. So like I say, sometimes it's good to give them that one extra game week and then like he did with Zinchenko. But for him, I am getting really frustrated. I mean, you mentioned that this week they play against Newcastle, two teams without defense, and maybe goals will be
He should
plenty.
probably do yeah. He should probably do well.
Yeah,
But watching their
but
game, I
I'm
think
frustrated.
yeah, watching their
Mhm.
game, I saw that most of their attacks came from Timo Werner on the left hand side. He was the one that was running at the defense, like creating chances. Even Son, he's not really on form
Mhm.
like you expect Son to be, because it's not any sniff of like a or hint of the post or he's taking the shot, but he was a bit reluctant, kind of slow. I don't know what's going on with the attackers. Madison was nowhere to be found, honestly. So if I was
Yeah.
gonna have anybody in the team, it's probably gonna be Timo Werner. Son I already have, so yeah, it's gonna be tricky, man. It's gonna be tricky. The defense, maybe some people did well with having Pedro Porro in their team still, but
Yeah, I think Poro is the pick there. Poro is because he gives you the attacking return, he
mhm,
scores goals, and then he assists. I think he's the leading assister in the league,
mhm.
9 or 10, and now he's scoring a couple of goals. So
Yeah,
at least he got at least 12 attacking returns, or at least 11, more than 10 attacking returns this season.
yeah.
So he's the player that you wanna have because of those things. But in terms of defense, expecting your Tottenham defenders to give you a
The
defensive point,
defensive clean sheet,
it's not.
nah, I doubt it.
Yeah, it's not. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah. So finally, we go to draft teams
Mm-hmm.
for 33. In my case, I have two free transfers right now. As you can see, I have issues. Areola is out. Kelleher might be out soon because, like you said, Allison is back. So now I have
Yeah.
two free transfers, like I said. So the problem is now, who do I take out? Muniz was supposed to come in. He was my, like
Yeah.
differential pick, but apparently the goals have dried up.
I have dried
And
out. Dried
and
out.
and last episode where we talked about 31, 30, 32, I was supposed to wildcard.
Uh-huh.
Remember, it was like a wildcard,
Yeah,
and we were
yeah.
talking about it, and then we realized that because of 35, it's
Mm-hmm.
better to just try to keep the wildcard all the way to 35,
Mm-hmm.
and then wildcard in 35, and then bench boost in 37, maybe 36, depending.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so now that's the plan. Now I did not wildcard, obviously, so now I'm trying to maneuver and try to see which assets I can get now until 35 before I wildcard. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna dead end this team up to 35
Yeah.
and then wildcard.
How frustrating was it for you with Salah that week with the captaincy?
I mean, I was like,
Stable United.
I took I got a red arrow, man. Like I was like, what's this? And I took a hit.
People were moving mountains to bring Salah.
And then you see, so
It was
yeah,
so disappointing.
it's honestly disappointing. And the funny thing is, but the good thing is that a lot of people have these five midfield players in the team. Like these five are so common: Foden, Salah, Palmer, Saka, and Son. Even if you don't
Mhm.
have the five, you have at least four. So
Yeah.
at any other place where you're gonna have your points is gonna be in the defense or maybe in the attack, and Haaland is not doing much. So you see, so
Yeah.
like it's the same thing. Even if you wildcard, you don't like right now. The wildcard is going to be for planning
Uh-huh.
35 and 37, but it's not necessarily going to be
Yeah.
for changing your team like all over again. But it's going to be the same team. You're going to have the same five midfielders.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
not much there,
Mm-hmm.
anyways. So I was thinking of getting like a Neto because he has a double, right? Wolves. So bringing Neto
Yeah.
for Areola, and then keep Kelleher. If he doesn't play, then Neto comes in. But
Yeah.
another one also is Muniz. He's gonna be out. I want to get Wood. I want to get like an exciting pick that is gonna like a differential who's on form. Just try to gamble and
Mm-hmm.
see what I come up with. Muniz is gonna be out, but he's playing
Yeah.
West Ham. West Ham at home, I think they've been good, but I don't know. I think Fulham are better at home, but they still haven't been doing well
Mm-hmm.
this past few game weeks anyway. So I don't know. So I think bring Chris
Mm-hmm.
Wood in or Wiza. But if I bring Wiza in, they have a difficult fixture in the next game in 34. So it doesn't make any sense to bring him for one game and then take him out and bring somebody else in. So I was thinking of Chris Wood just for a differential pick and see what
Mm-hmm.
happens. So right now, as you can see, my team: Gusto, Zinchenko, Gabriel. That you have the big five of everybody's team: community property, Foden, Salah, Palmer, Saka, and Son that everybody has.
Yeah.
No surprises there.
Yeah.
And then Muniz is going to be Wood. At least for now, I might change my plans later on, but for now, this is my plan. And then
Mm-hmm.
Haaland is in. And then Ariola is going to be Neto. So yeah, Kelleher starts obviously, but Neto is going to be on the bench just in case something happens. Yeah, so that's my
Mm-hmm.
team. Any thoughts?
So
Any you know you think I should
no, no.
change somebody who should come in?
No, I think the team is quite solid. The only one is Estepinan play against Burnley, right? Away.
Yeah, away.
Um, it's a good fixture, but Burnley are quite impressive sometimes. They score goals. They are not getting the points that that will keep them in the league, maybe, but they are getting like they are scoring goals. So Estepina as a defender maybe will concede in that one. So maybe it makes sense. But of course, if Gusto does not play again, he was out last week for Chelsea. I
I think
don't
he
know
was
if he
rested.
will be
Yeah, he was
available.
rested. Yeah. So
He was rested. So, but because they play Everton this week, you have to start him. Yeah. And then you have up top you have Muniz, West Ham away. Yeah, I would start Muniz over Estopina, and maybe
what
is a
about
quite close one.
what about Wood? Do you think I should get Wood in for Muniz? Chris Wood?
Uh, how many free transfers do you have this week?
I have two. I have to play one.
Uh,
Yeah.
you have to play one. Yeah, yeah. Then in that case, it might make sense. But if you bring Wood, if Wood is Nottingham Forest, they
Nottingham
have a
Forest.
double game week because they
Uh,
play.
I'm not
They
sure if they have a double game week. Let me see if they do.
okay.
Forest, they don't have a double game week, but it's just until 34. 35 he's gonna go out for the wild card. I'm taking him out. I'm just trying to see
Okay, yeah, why
where
can't
I can bank there,
okay,
where I can
okay.
get the most, like like a differential pick here and there, between now and
Would
35.
play Wolves. Why not you try the Brentford players?
Visa, but
Ivan
it's just for one
Toney's.
gimmick, right? That, like, if I bring Visa in for let's say Visa, if I bring him in for Sheffield United, right? Brentford. Okay, I think that's not bad. If I can fit him into my team.
Yeah, no, but the worry is Ivan Toney will come back to the team. He was ill for the last game. That's why he started on the bench. So
Yeah.
we know Ivan Toney is the first choice in that team, right? He is
Mm-hmm.
definitely the first choice. Visa scored last week, and he has been doing exceptionally well. But Ivan Toney, he's like if he's available and fit to play, he starts.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
then now you are talking about Mbemo is back to
Yeah,
fitness.
yeah.
So
So,
unless they play three up top, then Visa starts. But if they
but
are gonna start with two,
Visa is always on the bench.
Visa
Yeah.
Visa is gonna be the one on the bench.
So,
So
I
I don't think
think
Visa is that player you wanna risk on. If you can get Ivan Toney, maybe you can go there, but
uh
maybe it's difficult.
if I yeah, yes, I'm gonna have to take a hit because Morris is gonna have to leave, and I don't know to have the
Uh,
funds to fund any second striker that I want to get right now. That's not cheap.
no, you don't necessarily need to take a hit because you have the
Uh,
two free transfers, and then you can make one transfer for game week 34, the double game week.
mhm.
Who plays in the double game week? Which player will you want to have in the double game week? Just look at the fixtures.
Yeah, well, let me see. 34. So we have Crystal Palace. I don't think I'm considering them. Arsenal, I already have three Arsenal right now. So which other?
Yeah,
Who also like Brentford, Sheffield United? Sorry, yeah, I don't think I
you
want to
don't
have.
want
The one
you
I
don't
was
want to have
thinking of is
Sheffield
Wolves.
United.
At least if I have their keeper, I don't know who else. Neto
Uh-huh.
is Neto back or is still injured? So
Neto is injured. Neto is
Liverpool,
injured.
yeah, Liverpool. I want to have one extra player there.
But in what position?
That's the
In what
problem now.
position are
That's
you
the problem.
thinking?
I want to have Jota, but then I don't fancy any other Liverpool player right now. That's the problem because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know who
Defensively, there is no
defensively.
player
No,
to pick.
yeah,
There is only one. There is only, and it's difficult to get there. This Van
maybe
Dijk is the only one, and you don't like him.
maybe
I
I'll
know.
get yeah Van Dijk. Oh, yeah, I don't maybe I'll get Mateta from Crystal Palace because I have to like is the right like a striker who
Yeah, well,
plays
yeah,
Mateta, right?
yeah. Mateta, I think Mateta is an option.
Is an
Mateta is
option.
an
Yeah,
option.
I guess
Crystal
so.
Palace. He's an option. But he played Liverpool this week, right?
Yeah, I mean their
So
fixtures is
can you?
Liverpool and then Man City. I mean they already played. Yeah, Liverpool. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
They play Liverpool. They play Liverpool away this week, and then they have the double game week. Who did they double with?
West Ham,
What is their
Newcastle.
double?
These are like really two reasonably good games.
Decent,
Yeah, at home, both of them at
decent,
home.
decent,
Anyways,
decent
yeah,
fixture.
yeah.
Yeah. But can you do Mateta and Tony for the two strikers? That is
I don't think I can afford. I don't
Morris
think I can
and
afford. I don't think I can afford Tony. It'll have to
how
be.
many how many how many do you have in the back? Yeah, yeah. Then Tony, you don't need. I think Mateta was doing the one Mateta move for Morris
Mhm.
or for Muniz. I think is the move.
Or
But
what
I
I
would
can.
rather sell.
Or what I
I
can
would
do,
rather
I
sell
don't
more.
think Allison is coming in right now. So what I can do, I can just bring in this game week Wood. You think it's a good idea, Wood, and then next game week I bring in Mateta? I don't know. I don't know.
No, I just feel it's a waste
It's
of
waste of
transfer
transfer.
because
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
next week you don't use Mateta. Next week you don't use Wood. But Mateta you use him next week, and then it's a double game week.
Okay.
in their situation.
For Morris, right? And then
So
just keep Muniz as
yeah,
is right now.
just to save your transfer, I think Muniz can start this week against West Ham. You don't have to worry about Muniz starting, but because you don't wanna let that transfer go for free,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can bring in Mateta, bench him,
Bench
and
him.
then double
Okay.
game week,
Yeah, that makes
and then
sense.
you start Mateta in the double game week. Because the fixture the team is good, and even Estepina, he has been starting, right? The
Yeah.
last few games, how
Yeah,
many
yeah.
games did he start in a row? 2 or 3.
I
He
think it's
started two
been
or
that,
three
yeah,
games.
consistently, yeah. Just not
So
getting the
so
points.
yeah, so against Burnley, who knows? It's not the end of the world to start him against Burnley over Muniz. If you want to go, but if you want to go less exciting and then go with the defensive player, but I think Muniz is the more exciting one because of he's a striker and he can score anytime. He's been the most informed striker of late. So I will start Muniz. I will start this team. I will not touch this team. Just have Estepinan there in case Foden does not play. Estepinan covers Foden, and then you have Mateta on the bench and ready to unleash him again in the double game with 34. And
Yeah.
then you
Yeah,
have
that
it
makes
two
sense, yeah.
three transfers that particular week again. You can sometimes you don't have to. The
Do
transfer
much.
does not have to
Yeah, I
have the
know.
impact this week. It can have the subsequent week.
That's true. That's a good call. Um, yeah, so let's end with your team. Yeah.
I'm in the same situation as yourself. I have 2 free transfers, and I have a team that I am quite content with because I have Neto in goal,
Mm-hmm.
who I will use for the double game week, of course. After this, he play Man United at home, so I don't mind starting him. I know United might score because they have the quality to score goals against teams, but I'm not. Um, it's goalkeeping situation. He's playing at home. I will start him. Just start him. And then in defense, you have Gabriel and White. They play Aston Villa. Gusto, I bring him back in. Reguilon, he plays for United. Those are all defenders are having a very nice fixture. Salah, Saka, Son. I want to start Son. Palmer, of course, he will start. And then up top, you have Tony and Darwin. They all have good fixtures. So the 11 in my team, they have decent fixture. And I have two
Yeah,
free
I think it's a
transfers.
good 11, definitely.
Yeah, you see, even Watkins, I'm benching him this week. I
Yeah.
have Watkins against Arsenal, and I'm happy to bench him despite his form. Madison, Udogi, all these players. Even I was thinking if I had the bench boost, I can even bench game week going
That's
for. I
what
can
I was
bench
that's
him.
what I was saying. Like you already played the bench, but it seems like you just wildcarded like a last game week or
Eh,
something
eh,
because your bench is really looking good. Honestly,
Exactly. So
honestly,
I
yeah.
have to make one transfer at least because I have two similar to you.
Hmm.
So what I'm thinking is, who can I bring in for Madison that can be impactful in game week 34? That's
Yeah.
what I'm thinking. Or who can I bring in for Udogi that can be impactful in game week 34? So these are the
Definitely
two names
somebody
that
that
I'm
has a
thinking.
game week fixture. Maybe
Like,
an Eze who has a really good fixture. Like you can bring an Eze in for Madison. Yeah, this game week. Yeah,
yeah,
that'll be a
exactly.
good one.
And then you use him for the double game week. The
Yeah,
same thing with
yeah,
Mateta. So he's actually in my thoughts. Eze is actually in my thoughts. Maybe that's what I will do
hmm,
because the goalkeeping situation I don't care. I don't mind.
okay.
Neto will start unless he's injured. He will start all the
Yeah, he has a
Bournemouth
double
games.
as well, so
So
that's good. That's
he
good
has
to
a
have him
double.
there.
So I don't have to worry about Ariola. So yeah, that is the same dilemma we are in. I will make my decision also later on in the week. But I think that one you say Eze coming in for Madison is the most likely scenario.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Come to the end of the pod. It's been a interesting one. uh,
definitely.
yeah. So it's good to have at least on screen. What do you call it? On screen planning and seeing like throwing the ideas out there and see what comes back. It's good to
Mhm.
uh, to brainstorm. All right, guys. So thanks for supporting the pod as always. We are the Kotu Classic FBL podcast or video cast, whatever you want to call it. Check
Mhm.
out the Jollof Football
We are
Bantaba channel
we are
on YouTube.
videoing.
Yeah, I know, right? All right, guys. So catch you guys on the next one. Bye.
Goodbye, guys.